Namaste and welcome to our Feel Incredible Yoga Flow. We're going to begin today reclined on our mat. When you meet me here, I want you to join the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to fall away to the mat, coming into reclined butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana. Find a moment here to breathe and relax the mind, feeling the detoxification in the hip flexors and the spine. Closing your eyes and immersing yourself in this moment, grounding yourself on the mat. Draw the knees together and tuck the legs in towards the chest. Grab the outside of your feet and pull your knees towards the mat beside you, coming into happy baby pose. Opening up the hip flexors, the inner thighs and the hamstrings here, you can rock from side to side to gain extra mobility in the lower body. Extend your right leg to the sky and allow the left leg to extend to the mat. Point the toes and grab the ankle, pulling the leg towards the face, pulsing here. Stretching out the hamstring and the calf muscle, breathing deeply into this deep stretch, making sure to keep your hips square to the sky. Release the leg and switching to the other leg, grabbing the ankle, pointing the toes, pulling the knee in towards the face, keeping a soft bend in the leg if this is too much for you, making sure that you're elongating through the hamstring and calf muscle to get that optimum stretch. Release the leg, and on your next inhale, we're going to rise up to a seated posture. When you meet me here, tuck the knees in towards the chest and bring the feet up off the floor. Bring your arms out in front of you for support, coming into boat pose. Keep your abdomen and your chest pressed towards your thighs, opening your chest to the sky, gazes slightly to the sky. You can extend your legs up to the sky, pointing the toes, stretching out the hamstring slightly here, finding that core strength. Release the feet to the mat and extend out the legs. Place your hands behind you and push your chest towards the sky, fingertips pointing towards your body. Throw your head back in this reverse plank and really feel this deep detoxification for the shoulders and the tricep. Keeping that core strong, hips pressed towards the sky. and exhale, release, placing the glutes back down to the mat. Make your way into a half hero posture, keeping your right leg straight, pointing the toes. Exhale, fold over that leg nose to knee if you can, stretching out the hamstring, keeping your hips square to the top of your mat. Really feeling this deep stretch all the way up the leg, breathing deeply here. Rise to neutral and bring that left foot up onto the sole, knees pointing towards the sky. Exhale, reach forward and we're going to bind to that left leg, bringing your nose towards the knee again, keeping your gaze slightly ahead. Again, we're stretching out the hamstring here, as well as the spine and the IT band on the left side. Release the left leg and allow your foot to come to the inner thigh and square off your hips towards me. Place your right forearm to the mat alongside your leg and reach your left arm over your head, gaze to the sky. Make sure not to collapse your chest in towards the mat, keeping that chest open, stretching out the side body, reaching far with those fingertips. Come back to a neutral posture and square off your hips back to the top of the mat. Bend the right leg slightly and cross the left leg over top so that your heel is in line with your knee. Taking a seated figure 4 posture, pushing the chest towards the sky, placing your hands behind you for support. Keep your spine nice and straight, crown of your head pointing towards the sky. Maybe throwing your head back to stretch the neck slightly. Cross the left leg all the way over top of the right and allow the legs to sink towards the mat. Make sure your knees are stacked over one another and slightly folding here, keeping that spine long, stretching out the lower back and the IT band. Breathing deeply into this shoelace stretch. Rise out of this posture and extend the legs out in front of you, keeping a slight soft bend in the toes. Exhale and fold for those ankles, bringing your forehead towards your knees, making sure that your spine is long and you're pressing your abdomen in towards the thighs. If this is difficult for you, place your hands underneath your knees and slightly fold here, making sure to fold from your hips instead of your lower back. Sitting up and pressing back into that reverse plank, really opening up the chest to the sky, pushing your hips towards the sky, detoxifying the stomach and the spine, really stretching the shoulders and the tricep here. Hold here, breathing deeply in this stretch. Release the hips to the mat, and we're going to take that sequence on the other side. So this time taking our half hero fold, but keeping our left leg straight. Again, keeping a soft bend in the toes, really stretching that leg far, elongating through the hamstring and calf, nose to knee here if you can. Sit up and make your way into our bound fold, binding this time to the right leg. Opening your chest forward, gazes ahead, bringing your chin towards the knee, again stretching out the hamstring, lower back and spine. Release the leg towards the mat, bringing the foot to the inner thigh. Place your left forearm to the mat and reach your right arm over your head, elongating through the fingertips. Gazes ahead, making sure not to collapse your chest in towards the mat. Breathing into those intercostal muscles, stretching through the side body. Twisting our hips back round to its original position and crossing the right leg over top of the left, coming into our seated figure 4 posture. Again, use your hands behind you for support. Come onto your sit bones and push your chest towards the sky. Push your abdomen towards your thighs. Throw your head back slightly and open up your throat chakra, breathing deeply into this hip opening. Making our way into full shoelace pose, stacking the knees on top of one another, stretching out the IT band here. You can fold over your legs, coming onto your forearms, bringing your chin towards your knees, breathing deeply and opening up the spine and the chest. Coming out of this posture and making your way back into our boat pose, engaging the core muscles and pressing the abdomen towards the thighs. Extending out the legs if you can, keeping that chest pointing towards the sky, gaze to the sky too. Breathing deeply here, keep that spine long. And release the legs to the mat and sitting forward into a yogic squat, keeping our feet mat distance apart, opening up our knees. Use your arms to push your knees away further, opening up the hips and inner thighs. Make sure that tailbone is pointing directly towards the mat, keeping that spine long. Place your hands to the mat and hop into Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale and inhale, rise into upward facing dog, untucking the toes. Keep that spine nice and long and the thighs are off the floor, gazes up towards the sky, opening your chest out, stretching the lower back, breathing deeply into this stretch. Allow your thighs to drop towards the mat and slowly make your way onto your forearms, pressing into your hips, opening up the lower back here in this Sphinx pose. Keep those shoulders drawn together and gazes ahead. Begin to tuck the toes under and push your hips to the sky, coming into dolphin pose, a downward dog variation. Pushing through your shoulders, allowing the chest to melt towards the mat. Maybe walking out this dolphin pose, but keeping the tailbone pointing towards the sky, pressing the abdomen in towards the thighs. If you can't bring your heels towards the mat, keep a soft bend in the legs, making sure that your abdomen is pressed in towards the thighs. And exhale, release the legs to the mat, coming into child's pose. Drawing your forehead towards the mat and elongating your spine through your fingertips. Making sure that you're breathing deeply in this pose, finding a moment of relaxation before we end the practice. Begin to rise into a kneeling posture, and when you meet me here, join your hands over your heart center. Repeat after me, saying Namaste, allowing our practice to come to a close. Thank you for joining me.